I'm really trying to avoid overreacting to this whole running thing, the running phase that I'm in right now. But my God, is it feeling good? I've had a lot of criticism from a lot of you guys when it comes to concluding, coming to, the final decisions about all these exercises that I've tried over the course of the 1,000+ days. A lot of you guys have accused me of not allowing enough time to pass for me to make the correct judgment on some of these ideas. And some of these criticisms have been fair. Like, I pulled the pin on a lot of these ideas very, very soon. Another criticism is that I hit it too hard, too soon, and then I don't give it enough time. All of these ideas, all of these arguments are fair, but it's also very, very difficult for me to, in a 10-minute video, even though they're every single day, it's very hard for me to portray or to get across my full thoughts about a lot of these things. Even though the video is every single day, there's a lot more going on in the background. Not to say that I'm doing exercises off screen that I'm not, telling you guys about or whatever the case might be. But a lot of these videos are 10, maybe 15 minutes long, and I can't express my full thoughts about a lot of these ideas fully. And so I might make a video today, and then 5 days time I've come up with a different idea, and people are like, whoa, what's going on here? I wish I could make an hour-long video, and I wish everyone listened to every single thought that crossed my mind during those videos, but it's not the case. A lot of you guys listen once a week, and so a lot of these ideas change between two different videos. The way I think about it is like this. You are Greg Popovich, one of the greatest coaches of all time. Right now at the San Antonio Spurs, he's been, I don't know, for like 20 years or something like that. This man is a legend for many different reasons. But one of the reasons he's a legend is because he and his team are able to pick talent very, very well. Talent which is maybe not so highly, sought after. Guys in the second round end up freaking being, crucial players in a championship team. Sometimes when you see a talent, you might see them for an hour-long session, and you're like, that man right there, that boy right there is going to be a superstar. Now, if I have some of your criticism on board, and I'm like, you can't make that decision without running the full 15 years career, and then you can call it a superstar or not a superstar type player. The art is in the ability to pick something ahead of the full duration. What is the point? Everyone knows after 15 years what sort of career it was going to be. The ability is to see someone play for a short period of time and make a decision. Make a decision on that guy. That guy's not going to be he's really good shot maker, great athleticism. There's something wrong about him. I don't like his attitude. You don't draft him, somebody else drafts him, and you see all the locker room business that's going on, wrong. Everyone's having trouble with him. He's a bad chemistry guy. He gets out of the league. How many stories have you seen like that? So to have this idea that, you can't make decisions that quickly. I can't tell you exactly why I think pull-ups don't work. Now, pull-ups have billion reasons why you should be doing pull-ups. When I did pull-ups, I did them for the carryover to the deadlift. Now, some of you guys see the title, or maybe you don't even watch the full episode, and you go, oh no, that's bullshit. He's talking crap. I'm talking in reference to the deadlift. I'm not saying pull-ups as a whole are crap. I love pull-ups. But this is where some of these miscommunications happen, and it's partly maybe my fault and partly the listener's fault, and there's a miscommunication. Sometimes you don't need a long time to work out whether this is beneficial or not. When people say to me, you got to give something 12 weeks to make a decision. What if in the first week you have red flags everywhere? What if that guy rocks up into a locker room with a freaking gun? He's got a gun in his hand, man. He's walked into the first training session, he's got a gun. Do I let that man for another 11 weeks rock up with with this type of attitude? Or do you just wash your hands off that guy right away and move on? That's a personal decision. You do your thing. You run your franchise how you want to run. I run mine. I have some red flags in my head which I can't explain in full detail. But there are certain things that I feel when I do some of these exercises that I'm like, that doesn't feel right, that feels wrong, I'm moving on. Now, how do you express full emotions across a video format or audio format? It's very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult. In the same token, right now, the running phase, I'm so impressed by the effects that running has had on me that I'm basically finding it really hard to refrain from over-exaggerating this stuff. I feel great. Squats feel great. Life feels great. Deadlifts feel great. Overhead pressing feels great. Breathing feels great. Digestion feels great. Going to the toilet feels great. Sleep feels great. I can't find anything negative towards it. Okay? Can't find anything negative towards it. Compare that, let's say, I don't know why I picked the pull-ups. When I did the pull-ups, I did pull-ups today. I did pull-ups in 4 days' time. I did pull-ups in another 4 days' time. Deadlifts are feeling whack. I can't get my lats into place. I'm rounding over. I'm losing positioning. I don't know what's going on. So I end it. I don't like the stimulus. But then you guys are like, some of you guys are like, oh, you haven't given it 12 weeks. There's nothing to give 12 weeks for. We'll give another 12 weeks of bad positioning. I'm not talking about strength. I'm talking about, it's hard to put into numbers what I'm actually trying to say. The guy's got a gun in the locker room, man. That's what I feel. Now, my feeling might be completely wrong. And sure, if I did 12 weeks, I would really, really know. Well, in the last 3 months, man, my deadlift has gone from 260 to 220. Because, pull-ups are eating up all the recovery. I'm not stressing nowhere near enough the erectors, the glutes and the hamstrings and the adductors, because I just can't stabilize my lats. And because of that, I can't stress the rest of the stuff that deadlifts stress. And so these effects keep going on and going on and going on and going on. So even though in a perfectly, ideal world, in a vacuum type of scenario, you can run experiments for 1,000 days in a row. I know exactly for a fact pull-ups are great for deadlifts after 1,000 days. The point is, you don't have that enough time. The point is, there is an art to knowledge. It's not just a mechanical expression. When a patient comes into a resus room and we give a drug, and the airways start to swell up, the eyeballs start to swell up, the face starts to swell up, everything starts to swell up, blood pressure drops, breathing starts to become noisy, heart rate goes up, they can't speak anymore. Do I look at the doctor? I'm like, nah. What I reckon is going on, bro, is we gotta let this drug completely run through, and we'll see if he makes it or not. Because I reckon it's just a rough patch right now. No, man. In medicine, when you see a sign like it's a red flag, the man is having anaphylaxis, you stop the drug, you take it out of the thing, you call a freaking emergency, you think about adrenaline infusions, you're thinking about adrenaline injection. I'm talking about a red flag. There are certain things when they happen, you must react. If you don't react, you're being an idiot. That's how I think about these things. So sometimes I see a red flag about a certain exercise, and I'm like, I gotta pull the pin on this because I don't like where it's headed. Now, you might not see and not be able to understand where I'm coming from, but we all should have the ability and the confidence to pull the pin when we feel like it. If you don't pull the pin on that gut feeling goes a long freaking way, man. You must never forget to listen to the gut feeling. When you feel that in your guts, whether you want to call it God or some sort of other energy, you listen to that gut feeling. Not just in the gym, in life in general. The gut feeling has never caused me astray. It's a very, very important feeling. So when I have a gut feeling about something and I come on a video and I'm like, I moved away, I didn't like God's like, come on, man, you haven't given it 12 weeks. No, I don't want to die. It's anaphylaxis, man. In my eyes, it's anaphylaxis. Now, it's a very oversimplistic way and maybe a crude example of what I'm trying to say, but I don't think we should be mechanical. We should be dumb in our ways. You can see the trajectory of certain things. I'm not saying after a single rep, you're like, okay, call it quits. There is a feeling to movement. This stuff that we're obsessing about, movement, strength, people like to feel like it's a science. Sure, there is a science component to it, but it's an art. mainstream medicine, you understand? Mainstream medicine is an art. It's based on science, but its expression is art. The way you take a history from a patient, the way you process information, the way you pull different ideas, science can't help you. There is not enough. There is not a protocol for every single person on the planet. There's 7 billion people on the planet. There is general variation amongst the population. You can't come in and be like, no. That guy over there did this, so you need to get it. No, man. There needs to be an art. You need to adjust. You need to be fluid in your ideas. You can't be set in concrete. You need to just be free, fluid, art. That's a very, very important lesson that I've learned, and I exhibit it in training and in my thoughts when it comes to the logbook, in my decision making. Occasionally, I do exercises and I'm like, wow, that is a freaking superstar. Cannot believe he's in the second round, but this brother right here is going to be an MVP of the league one day. Who picked Nikola Jokic? Who was he? 2-time MVP. How many guys would have been like, look, man, like he's a fat dude, he can't do a push-up, he looks unfit, he da. Somebody in the Nuggets organization went, nah, I like him. He's got something special about him. How do you prove that to somebody? You don't. Something triggered somebody in that organization, said, we're going to take a chance on this guy, there's some feeling about him. And what do we know now? He's one of the most unbelievable players in the NBA history. He's a 7-footer that can do everything, basically. He's a talent. He was found in basically in the sewers of the second round. Okay? That's the kind of feeling I try to get across. And like when I see the criticisms, I understand, because the most people are governed by numbers and science and rigidity. If you know anything about me, that rubs me up the wrong way, because biology is not rigid. Biology is fluid. It's artsy. There's a lot of variation amongst people. Not everyone is up for 5x5, strong lifts. Not everyone needs to exist in a structure like that. This running thing, since we're talking about flags, it's not a red flag. It's a beautiful, beautiful flag. Everything in my life has benefited from me going on these runs. Today I did a 1K run to start the session, 1K to end the session. Felt amazing. Squats felt amazing. Overhead pressing felt amazing. My mobility felt amazing. My lungs felt amazing. My digestion, everything is feeling well. That's special, man. That's a Nikola Jokic type of find, man. And so when I have these raw emotions about certain things and I come on here and I let you guys know about a certain feeling that I have, I can't give you numbers. I can't give you statistics. I don't want to give you Harvard research papers. To me, frankly, that is the definition of something being not sexy. Greg Popovich doesn't need to tell you exactly what the numbers about us. That guy moves well. He's impressing me as a human being. He's got some raw talent. I reckon we can make this guy an MVP. He continuously makes these guys, Kawhi Leonard, Tony Parker, obviously Duncan was Duncan, Ginobili. All these guys, man, I look at that man and I'm like, there's something special about this human being. He's got the art down packed. And even though the statistics world like to nitpick about stats and this, it's art. Sport is art. Weightlifting is art. Biology is art. You just need to be brave to listen to that gut feeling and make a decision and move forward. I appreciate all of you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.